Hello everyone, Leo here to present you our small prototype of Queen's Pact in an early form just to showcase the basics of the gameplay, and of course I'm quite eager to show you some more prototypes quite soon with some exploration systems and bosses arenas and many things that are coming onto the game. And for now we are presenting that early prototype with already the first basics of the gameplay. Every time you start a run, you will have a few gifts from the queen, who doesn't leave you just in the first act without anything to fight her with. So here, I'm granted an audience with the queen, so this text will change. We are still figuring out how exactly we're going to write everything, but basically what should happen is that you start in the queen's castle, where she gives you a few gifts and teleports you away in her kingdom to go in some trials, kind of like Hercules-like. You have to overcome some trials, try to entertain her. If you don't entertain her enough, she might send you some more tricks just to spice things up. And if you're entertaining, of course, everything should be fine. So be entertaining, please. Make some crazy builds, because if you don't, she's gonna be bored and you won't like that. So here I have a choice of minion. I have the Creep Baroness, which allows me to double my ally stats when I resurrect an ally. So that's good in a resurrection build, and I'm actually, well, we all have our small reputation in the team. We're a small indie team of 3. We have a dev, an artist, and I'm the designer. And for example, our developer is full onto the hidden abilities. I'm more into resurrection and poison, and our artist is very into poison. So here I've got the Envoy of Decay, which has double power every time an ally dies, and it deals some poison, 4 poison here. So it's both the resurrection build and the poison build, and the Bone Squire that gives its attack to the fighter to behind when it dies. So there's the front line on top and the back line behind, and of course your front line protects your back line. And early on, the Envoy of Decay is better, but I'm a big fan of the Creep Baroness, which has some crazy builds. Hopefully, I'm in Ascension 0, so it should be fine, and everything should work well. Then I have a choice of Relic. Relic are, of course, magical items, like in Slay the Spire, which is, of course, obviously, one of the inspiration for our game. So here, the Skyrunner's Feather allows me to charge, every time a fighter triggers, every time one of my minions here triggers, I will charge an adjacent fighter for 1 second. The Skull of the Fallen King allows my hero here, Riley, which is in another art direction because he comes from another world, literally. So what we will have is that our narrative introduction is in his world with his art direction, and then we switch to that world with that art direction. And a Vial of Poison that allows all of my attacks to inflict poison, which is very good when I have very fast-paced attack, which is not the case right now. So I think the safest maybe, well, that's better if I have more minions, but we're quite early. Anyway, the first fights are not the hardest, and here we have a linear path, which won't be what you have in the final game, because in the final game you will, let's say, arrive into the forest, and you have multiple pathways you can explore, and it's up to you to venture deep enough into each areas of the forest to trigger many fights, find many things, and you will be able to choose how much risk you want to take. For now, I'm against this Unleashed Slayer, which deals 100 damage in 2 seconds if that's the ability he's charging, or the other ability he can charge is Panicked Frenzy that inflicts vulnerability. So 50% vulnerability means it inflicts 50% more damage when it deals damage, and that takes 3 seconds. So here, it's interesting for me to place actually my hero in the front line because he has tons of HP, which might be something we change also in the future. For now, we are very much into the conception phase where we are implementing many systems. You have your actual Pact contract that will come and be one of the systems, the exploration, the bosses arenas, many cool things that will come into the game. And once we have our various systems implemented, then we will really change all of the values and make sure to balance the game. So here, it only has 300 HP, so you see both of my minions just triggered and dealt 330 damage to the boss, so it was sufficient. And if I display the stats, he triggered one time and dealt 250 damage, and she triggered one time and dealt 80 damage. So here we can get our loot, 3 gold, and onto our first non-queen event, because now we are exploring the rest of the game. I voluntarily placed the music quite low so that, well, you can hear me well. But of course, when you play, you can just keep the music full on or put on your own music, that's up to you. And it's placeholder music, but we have more musics coming soon. And here, the Grand Bazaar. So I have a choice. I can choose basically a tag, one kind of ability I want on a minion I want. And here, this one doubles my ally stats when they are resurrected. So I want the persistence one, which will give me a minion that can persist, that can come back from the dead once here, and it will double its stats. So for now, every 5 seconds it deals 10 poison and has 200 HP, and if it comes back, it will have 20 poison and 400 HP, which is a tiny bit better. And I'm at my first market. I can purchase some minions, artifacts, or relics, and I only have 6 gold, so I won't be able to purchase much. The safe thing would be to take this, the Tendon Snapper, with 30 vulnerability, which will give me a good modifier to boost my 2 characters here. I can try to greed and take, let's say, the Vindictive Swordmaster. That's very slow to trigger, but when it triggers, it hits hard. And also, there are a few events in the game that can combine very well with the Vindictive Swordmaster. So for your eyes only, I'm going to greed and see what happens. Now the Restrained Berserker. Chains slow me, but they won't save you. Alright, so he can strike and deal damage or increase its damage. And I just want to make sure that my 2 minions that are supposed to tank here are actually in the front line. One cool trick I can do is to put this one in front of the Crypt Baroness, so that I'm sure the minion will have time to resurrect before the Crypt Baroness ever gets killed. And that's a cool priority trick. And then I keep everyone packed, because once one is triggered, it will charge one of their neighbors, so I want to keep them packed. So you see here, the Plague Lord just died and came back with double stats. And as is often the case in auto battlers, at the end of the combat, everything is reset. I get back my minions with full health, but I also lose their buffs. So if I want some persistent buffs, I need to make them happen outside of combat. Ooh, and now the Irresistible Temptation. Here, temptation is everywhere. Jewels, relics, secrets, everything can be stolen, but every move draws attention. How far will they go before one of them gets caught? So here, I can send my minions to retrieve some gold and hope they don't get caught, but it can bring tons of gold, and the idea is how much do I want to greed. So my usual strategy on my side is to click on the lowest risk every time, and to try to that's the one I don't want to lose. So yes, and oh wow, quite lucky here. I'm not going to risk more. I already have 40 gold. That's plenty enough. Oh, this is what I was greedy for. This is perfect. The Ritual Pit allows me to sacrifice one of my existing minions to boost a minion I can then get. Here I can sacrifice, so it's a random minion that's been chosen, but I was lucky, and the Vindictive Swordmaster was chosen as the sacrifice target, which has an extremely high power. So now I can transfer the 999 gold either onto the Patient Blade that would have 1100 damage, only dealt every 10 seconds, and also it's lurked the first second of the game, but its power grows as long as it's locked, as long as it's either hidden. So it could be interesting here, but I could also get a second Crypt Baroness and try to go for a resurrection build that's quite cracked, and that's actually what I'm going to do. I will sacrifice the Vindictive Swordmaster, get the Crypt Baroness, so she can deal quite a ton of damage every 8 seconds, And now I'm against the Warden Matron. The Warden Matron deals 100 damage to an unprotected enemy as well as adjacent fighters. So here, what I don't want to do is to have too many people who are adjacent. So I'm going to have to break my Scavenous Feathers build. I'm going to move. I can't put Riley in my stash. And in the future, it won't be a stash. It will be your hand. You are the hero. And the queen expects you to fight, so you cannot actually come back to your hand and be protected. You have to fight. So here I can keep Riley here, keep the Plague Lord, and maybe get the second Crit Baroness in my stash and go for the combat this way so that she cannot do some splash damage. Okay, Resurrection, and now I beat the Warden Matron, which is again quite easy because it's the game introduction in the easiest mode, and in the future life won't be as easy. Let's say it's an early prototype, so we are quite nice so that many of you can actually get to see the end of the third act and give us some feedback so that we can improve the game. And as the game goes on, we will also implement the Queen's Gifts, which will help you as the game grows, but which will mean that the game is a bit hard when you start. Alright, now I have a Ritual Banquet. I can sacrifice my hero's max HP to give some max HP to everyone, which could be a good idea if I want to boost the Plague Lord, but if I want to boost Riley so I can double his stats for that kind of build, it's not really that interesting. So I'm going to greed once more and say no, thank you, I'll keep my HP. Ooh, and now I have a Philosophical Stone Fragment. Then again, one of the themes of the game is power at a cost. And the cost can be risking here a Cursed Relic, so a relic with negative boon. And you could also lose some minions, lose max HP. Every time you have to pay a cost. Here, I'm going to take the risk once, and I'm trying to get to boost my max stats, so I don't want to get the Ghost Relics that will hinder my max stats, so I won't take so much more risk, but in other situation, I go all in, and I'm like, here we go, I want as much gold as I can, and I don't care about the consequences. And here we are against some old name here, anyways, the Sink-Shield Sentinel. It's one of the sentinels of the Queen, or the Lady of Chains here, the first boss. And it's a poison boss. We may change its act later. Well, many changes are probably going to happen anyway. So here he can deal poison to all of my unprotected enemies, which are shown with the small targets in my board, or deal back some poison to the attackers, or deal damage to all unprotected enemies equal to the poison they already have. So here, what should be interesting would be to make sure that my strong minions get to attack as much as possible. I actually don't want this one yet, or maybe just to tank, no. Because this one, when it charges, it triggers an adjacent fighter 2 times, and then it destroys it. Which is not that bad actually on the Crypt Baroness, maybe? That would be 2160 HP dealt, which would leave me to only have to deal 900 damage, which isn't bad. Actually, I'm afraid it's not quite enough, but we'll see. So I'll unlock a slot here. Maybe go this way and try to get them to activate more. And this one will tank for her at the beginning. Let's try that. Now he sacrificed the one on the left. Now the one on the right, and yeah, it's going well. He sacrificed them in the right order, so now I get to beat the Sink-Shield Sentinel. So I was a bit lucky. And here I get the Queen's Will. When your hero falls below 30% HP and survives, all of your cards gain 50% power, which is nice. Always happy with some good relics. And now I got a Reality Breach. I can choose the next event I want to see. I can choose the Broker's Lair, which is a shop, but I'm going also already to have a shop here just before the boss. And I usually like the Ritual Pits. Here I can sacrifice my Plague Lord to give its persistent ability to a fighter that would be better, like an Envoy of Decay. The Kickstarter is nice, but it only allows me to boost my units at the start of combat, while the Envoy of Decay, maybe you remember, she doubles her power when an ally dies, and I'm starting to have some allies, so I'm going to sacrifice my Plague Lord to get an Envoy of Decay with the boost so that she can survive longer. And now, this also won't happen in the future, having the same event twice in a row. Here I can sacrifice my Crypt Baroness, which I want to keep. So I'm just going to take one of those two. And I'm not a big fan of the Bone Squire. The Arboreal Titan can combo with some events like the Ritual Pit or Madame Stitch, our home favorite that may happen in the future acts. When it triggers for the 5th time, it gains 5,000 power, which is nice when you find some ways to trigger that earlier than in 12 seconds. Alright. So I take this one and I'll use it to tank. I can take some minions here. The relics would be best. I don't have a ton of short cooldown, so this will take some time to charge. It gives my cards +1 damage for each time a card is activated, and it's a permanent bonus. So it's something you keep from fight to fight, but it's better when you're able to activate your cards quite often. And this is actually what could allow me to activate them more often, but then I'll lack of gold. Maybe what I can do is I take that and then I only need 2 more gold, so I can sell this one or this one because I can't play it, or maybe it depends on how HP. We'll see. I'll try this one. I take both relics, so I max greed and make sure to get as many long-term boons as I can. Because this one charges all of my cards 3 seconds at the beginning of combat, so it will make sure that they trigger more often and that this charges better. So here she has 3,000 HPs. Maybe what I can do with that so that they die quite fast and that they can boost the Envoy of Decay so that she deals more poison. And then she had a small bug, so it's not her final version right now. I'll keep the secret about what she does. So for now she changed my minions, and that's one. Okay, so what just happened is that Riley here on the right was killed by my card, actually. So he was activated twice and then killed, and then the Mistress of Change finished unchaining the minion on the middle and removed it from the board entirely, which for now is only for that phase, but in the future you'll have to manage to finish the boss fight with one less minion. So choose well what kind of minion you want to put on your front line, because you will miss them. Here she comes back with 6,666 HPs, and my bot comes back as said, and she can deal 666 HP to an unprotected enemy or 300 damage to the lowest HP enemy, which for now I have a 3-way tide between those 3. So yeah, well, I think same strategy should go fine. So here that's not the perfect order because he killed the best one first, and now I only have 1 minion that's going to die soon, and that's not going to get boost. So that's actually a catastrophe. In the future, what would happen here is that I would die, and end of my run, I can see the queen again and go to another run because I fell. I was too greedy for that run. But here, I've got some small life crystals so that I can go further and show you more of the game. And resume the fight. So she keeps her poison and everything, and I get to keep fighting. This way I can show you more of the game. I get some more loot, gold, ooh, some double damage on my hero, and oh, latecomer, I like this one. It charges all of my combat stat triggers, which I don't have for now, except this one. So every 7 seconds, it will charge this, that will charge everyone 3 seconds, which means then he only have 4 seconds to charge, so it's actually quite good. Whenever, so here I'm at the investigation, I can choose the power and the cost, quest I can perform to get some power. Here, the first power I can get on Riley is whenever a slot becomes free during combat, I summon the first card in my stash, so it will allow me to get some more minions during the fight. Or, oh, interesting. So here, it allows me to paralyze the enemy to make sure that I have some more free time where they cannot do anything each time Riley has just finished acting. The issue is the Creep Baroness play just after Riley. Riley has 7 second cooldown and the Creep Baroness have 8 seconds of cooldown. So it will only freeze the enemy 1 second every time Riley hits, which is not much. And when an artifact breaks, replace it with a different one, which could be a good artifact build, but for now, I'm going to go for the safest one. And then I can choose a quest, so I can either ignore 4 events, or find some epic or legendary allies, or make a choice that involves randomness, which I think in the future I'll be more inclined to take this one, because we'll have more control on the events we can face, thanks to the exploration mechanics. For now, I'm going to go for this one, the ignore events. No, I'm going to ignore that one because I don't have enough gold. And what I want, the key thing that to make my build work is this, the Crypt Vestibule. And here it could cost me 4 minions to be able to reach 16 gold to be able to buy this one. Here it says when an ally is resurrected, I permanently double its stats. So it's one of the few permanent buffs that can allow you to really scale like crazy. So I love this one. I won't be able to purchase it right now, but I hope I can get it in the future. For now, I'm going to face the Fiery Chaser. I think I'm going to swap those two to make sure that this one triggers some more. Maybe protect it so that it can deal a ton of damage. And let's go. So kill the one on the left. Buffed. Alright. Take the gold. And I can sacrifice some HP this time to reduce cooldowns. Reducing cooldown on everyone could be good. And I haven't found much things to boost my stats yet on my hero. So maybe it's not bad. I'm still hoping for some more synergies. I'm going to ignore it too for my quest. And then I can sell a card for a good price. So Envoy of Decay, Crit Baroness or Bliss Thief. And 11 gold is a lot. I think the Bliss Thief is actually not at its best right now in my build. So I'm going to sell it and hope I survive Valky. Because selling a minion just before Valky is a choice. Let's go. I'm terribly unprepared for Valky. That's going to be hardcore. Okay, let's hope. Yeah, it's going to be hard. So Valky has 30 seconds of cooldown and deals 9,999 damage, which is more than all of my minions' HPs combined. So I need to race Valky. Hopefully, the nice thing is that one of my minions can persist. So maybe I can then try to survive, but then once it has activated once, its next cooldown is halved. And what just happened was that the fatigue, the exhaustion started, which we will feel back better in the future. But after 30 seconds of combat, we start dealing damage to all of the minions or all the characters in the fight each second. So to make the fight end. So here the issue was that my minion was killed by exhaustion, and I lost the other one of my life crystals, and I'm now ready to resume the fight. So again, in the future, that's a run ender, and you'll have to come back with more strength in the future. I get my loot. Now my final minion has 5 shields to try to survive a bit more, and I can get another Queen Favor for a new... Oh, that's what I was fishing for. Because I'm a greedy person, and I know I have 2 life crystals, so I tend to be very greedy with this build, and I don't get as greedy when I'm on like Ascension 7 or some kind of things like that. But here on Ascension 0, I tend to get very greedy with my life crystals. I'm going to take an Offering of Resurgence that gives persistence to Riley, which means that when he comes back after being killed, he's going to get doubled by both of the Crit Baroness, and that should be broken. I can take risk for some gold or go for a shop, but I'm going to have a shop here, so I'm going to fish for some gold. And I was too greedy, so I took a Curse of Aging. When the combat ends, my allies that are still alive permanently lose 10% of their max HP. Alright. I'm going to change my protection here so that my Baroness survives some more and can maybe resurrect Riley. He came back. As you can see, he's now completely broken, and he should carry me for the rest of the fight. Boom! And the Ticks of Poison did the rest. As you can see, because the 2 minions died, the Envoy of Decay is actually stronger now. And also she was resurrected and doubled by both of the Crit Baroness. So my build is starting to work quite well. I can get a Strategist. After an ally that deals the vulnerability dies, summon an attacker from your stash and charges 5 seconds. So that's good in a vulnerability build, which I'm not doing, but my dev, Alex, does it quite often. Ooh, and that's one of our favorite events, Madame Stitch. Madame Stitch, as you can see, can stitch some things together. I can swap 2 minions' abilities and try to make some broken builds. So here, I could swap those 2 minions' abilities, but it's not helping much. It's actually making it worse because the charged ability from the latecomer would become an 8-second cooldown instead of a 7-second cooldown. This, on the other hand, is quite nice. When an ally is resurrected, double that ally's stats, and it would have persistence itself. So that would mean that it can resurrect itself and double itself, which is quite nice. While the other one would double 184 power, so it would go further. But another thing I can do, which I think may be even stronger, is to swap those 2. I don't care about the strategist ability, but I care about reducing the cooldown for the latecomer's ability. Here I can make sure that every 4 seconds I activate a combat start ability, and I only have 2 combat start abilities, which is either give persistence to Riley or charge all of my cards 3 seconds. So if I'm lucky, every 4 seconds I can charge everyone for 3 seconds, which means the next second I just do the same again. It has a charge limit of 5 times, but it's already broken, so I'm going to go for that. And I'm going to protect it because now it's a super strong ability. Here, I was lucky, and I can now... I think I'm going to unlock here. I will take the Crypt Vestibule, which was the artifact I was looking for earlier, which will allow me to double my stats permanently. And small trick, all of the abilities are resolved from left to right and from top to bottom. So what's going to happen is that Riley, for example, if it dies, it will have its stats doubled once, twice, and then doubled and kept permanently. So every time Riley will die, I will permanently multiply its stats by 8, which is quite strong. I think it's one of the strongest builds in the games. What else do I want to take? Ooh, that's always a cool thing. Clamor is okay, but I think this one is better. When it dies, it activates my combat start, so it will give some more persistence to Riley and reduce some more cooldown. Alright, and it's actually more tanky than this one, so I'm going to move it here. And I think that was a very good shop, and we are very well placed to fight Shredder. Here, I'd like the fight to last long enough so that Riley dies. So I don't want this one to die actually. I think I'm going to do this because I want those two to survive and Riley to die. I hope it will work. Please kill Riley. No! I lost the Crypt Baroness, so I'm going to only multiply by 4. Okay, so it's quite okay. Yeah, the issue was that once my leftmost column was down, it started hitting directly the leftmost column, so it killed my Crypt Baroness. I'm a bit sad. Royal Apothecary. Ooh! I can trigger a last breath, like this one. So I can play like that. I can sacrifice the Envoy of Decay to give persistence to another thing, but they're not that great. I'm going to just take a Marrow Magnus and go ahead. Now I can sacrifice way too many HP for way too small of an effect, because now I have tons of HP, so 50% of my HP, well it's yeah, something that's like a fourth of my HP. Fourth of my HP is a bit much for now. I'm going to ignore this event and it's going to make my mission progress. I don't have any gold, so I'm going to go against the boss right now. And now I just finished my abilities, so whenever any slot here becomes free, instead of just having nothing here, the next minion from my stash is going to spawn. So I need to place them in the right order, and I think actually that order is cool. So now I'm going to have some more tankiness. Because my minions, when they die, they'll be replaced, so these 3 will survive longer, which is a good thing. Oh, maybe I want to play this one here so that Riley has time to die and persist. Alright, let's go. I didn't even read the abilities, but he deals fire damage to my minions on a regular basis, and I seem to be hitting it way too strongly for now. That's the nice thing about greedy builds. Once they work pretty well. I get a rainbow shard that gives 7 of my 7 times either a shield or a persistence or some HPs to one of my minions at the beginning of the combat. No, every second, sorry. We changed it. And another strategist. I can get some more persistence, but I'm not sure I need them. I think I'm going to go for an epic card and hope it was better than that. I know that Alex does some crazy things with the Manifest Assassin, but I don't. But someday, maybe. And here, I can sacrifice some of my best minions for gold. I love gold, but not that much. Maybe, or maybe I want to sacrifice this one actually, for 10 gold. I don't use it anyway, so it's okay. Well, we've been lucky. Pretty sure I want 10 more gold. Wow. We're quite rich. We're quite rich. That was a nice trade. I love it when it goes this way. Alright, we're against Tacita, and that we're probably going to simplify this act a bit because there are many abilities and it's quite tricky to handle. Alright, let's go. She deals damage to all unprotected enemies. That one I can't do much about. Increases her damage by 100 can do much. When an enemy card triggers, stun an adjacent fighter for 1 second. So I want my key minions to be away from each other, which seems to be the case for now. When several enemy cards trigger at the same time, deal 250 damage to them. So that's the issue here. I've got 2 minions triggering. Well, I don't care about this one because I actually want them to die. Maybe I still want to replace this one with a more useful one though, like this one. And then the issue is that when this one triggers, it's going to kill the other one. So I need to change those cooldowns. So I'm pretty sure I want that and that. I want to keep this one here so that it has the same text as this one. So it's the tankier version of my Creep Baroness. And that should go well. Let's hope. We have different cooldowns, so we're not going to take as much damage from that. And then combat start, 30 poison and 30 vulnerability to all unprotected enemies, which will lead Riley to die sooner. But this one will die too. That's actually annoying. Maybe what I can do is this and remove this one and yeah, place it here. Maybe that's actually the best I can do. Let's try. Okay. So this was used. I don't know on what. I think it was on this one. I think what happened is that the rainbow shard gave persistence to a minion that died. But which one? Yeah, this one. This one was double. Okay, good trade. So now I probably want to bring back my build as it was. Ooh, I can swap some more text. I don't care about that one. Don't care about that one either. Charged, increase an adjacent fire. Okay, that's good. Trigger an adjacent last breath effect. No, I don't want to slow this one down. So it's rare, but I'm going to ignore Madame Stitch. I've got a new shop with tons of gold, but it's Magpie. I can only purchase some artifacts until he doesn't have my beloved Creed Vestibule. So, is there anything else I want in this particular build? Maybe this one for the final boss. I'm spoiling a bit, but I think I'll take that one. Alright, the 4 Torments. They deal damage to the force occupied column trigger. On a card from the force occupied column triggers. Okay, so I want slow cooldown here, which is already the case. Inflict 50 poison to fighters in the first occupied column, which is Riley, so it's perfect. Increase the cooldown of fighters in the second column by 2 seconds. So I want slow cooldown here. So maybe I want to, let's say, swap these. And I think it's okay. And deal 500 damage to fighters in the third occupied column. No, it's going to kill this one. I'm going to swap this one. This one is okay because I want it to die. No, it's this one I want to die. Okay, I think that's okay. Alright, so I'm charging everyone quite fast, so it's getting messy. And we've won that fight. Alright. Loot. What happened? This one carried hard. She dealt 36k damage, and Riley dealt 52k. So we have our heroes right now. Those two are quite strongly leading the fight. And ooh, triggers 13 times, quite nice. This one triggered twice and activated combat start. Vulnerability inflicted. Yeah, that's normal. Okay. So I think, yeah, I didn't see much of a persistence on Riley, so I think I boosted the cooldowns quite well. That's nice. Okay. No, I don't want to sacrifice my beautiful HPs. Ooh. Oh, are we greeding? Yes, I'm greeding. I'm definitely greeding. I don't have long cooldowns, but I want this. Vulnerability, 30% vulnerability means Rally strikes even stronger. So I like this one. Serenis. Alright. You are weary. Let me bear your burden. 150,000 HPs. Okay, that's this one. So she lurks my backline. I can use it to actually give some shields to critical minions, which I'm going to do. What are my critical minions? I think it's the 3 Baroness. The 3 Baroness are my critical minions. I want this one to strike because I'm not sure I'm going to win the fight without her. So I can actually go for that. No, she's a bad one. I'm not sure I want to give it the shield. I want to give a shield to that. And yeah, I'm just going to block the path to prevent Riley from summoning someone here and giving a shield to someone else. So this way I'm going to give all of those 3 a shield. I'm going to try to win the fight with just my front line. Which is not easy because she will destroy my relics and she will deal damage more and more. She does more damage when she takes 1,000 or more damage, which will happen frequently because 2 of my minions did more than 1,000 damage. So she is currently punishing my build. Hopefully, it's going to go well. We'll try. For now, it's going pretty well. I've got 6 persistence on Riley. It went incredibly well. Riley is completely stupid strong, so it's going very well. And I broke my artifact, which was the plan, to give some shields. Artifacts are it's going to be named consumables in the future. It's every time some short-term effects. So when an ally lurks, it apparently gains 1 shield, and here Serenis lurks my allies, hides them for the combat, all of my backline. So that's the challenge here. I need to win the fight with only my front line, which I did, and I also use her ability to protect my minions. Alright. I'm going to sell a Bone Squire. I want to bring back this one, I think. Yeah. Oh, that was the one I wanted to bring. Sacrifice an Envoy of Decay to give persistence to other options. I don't like the other options. Number 6. I need to protect this one. Where do I can do this? Alright. Combat start, 50%, 55% vulnerability to all unprotected enemies, so they're going to die sooner. 500 damage to an unprotected enemy, so again my front line is going to die fast. And last breath, a more troublesome version. She has 3 shields, so I need to deal her some damage before I'm able to deal the final blow. It should go well because my build is getting broken. So I almost one-shotted her. It's going very fast because, as you remember, this one is charging everyone's 3 seconds every 4 seconds. So every second I'm charging everyone. It's uncharged, so now it's going to go slower. And you see the fight is already slowing down. Ooh, 4,096 poison here. She's hitting hard. Alright, I can display once more my stats. 60k, nice, 26k, 8,000 poison. Ooh, I like this one. So maybe I want to actually bring back that one in place of that one, I think. Here, you're better. Ritual Banquet, sacrifice HP, I don't want to. Hopeless Market, I think I have enough gold to go, see some more markets. Ooh, I can double my damage. Yes, I want to double my damage. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. And I think Skyrunner is a good thing. Skyrunner reduces my cooldowns around. So for now, I'm going to wait for the shop maybe to see what I do. Madame Stitch, do I want one? Oh, I want to beat Velki. Yes, I want to beat Velki. So I need to beat Velki once more, which should be manageable. And I'm going to unlock that. Place Skyrunner here. Make sure to place Riley in front so that Riley can attack more often. And I think we're good. So now Velki deals damage to unprotected enemies and deals that much vulnerability and increases its damage and deals damage to all enemies. Alright, and 5 shield, million HP. Just a million HP. It's going to go well. Damn, I'm going hard. He's hitting hard, but luckily Riley has like 10 persist, so it should go pretty well. Summoning my artifacts, which I don't like much. Ooh, mother. Ooh, wow. This is crazy. This is getting completely crazy. Aphasia. When several enemy cards trigger at the same time, deal damage to them. So, same problem as before. When an enemy card triggers, its cooldown increases by... Okay, so it punishes fast builds. And the card with the lowest and highest cooldowns lose their abilities. This is terrible. This is terrible. I need to place this one on battlefield instead. So I will have to go for... I think up here, here. Oh no, I can... Okay. I need to place this one here, so that I can place this one here, so that this one has her power. And then I still have an issue with that one, which can I solve it? It's going to fail anyway, because I'm going to summon minions when they die and so on, so it's going to be a shit show anyway. Okay, well, shit show for shit show, let's go. Damn! They hit hard. Alright. How much? 161k on Riley. It's a pretty good one. He still has some quite low HP actually, so it would be nice to find a way to boost that. Hopeless Market. Yeah, I think I can do some 2 markets here because I have tons of gold. I don't like that. Oh, see, I like that one. Oh yeah, I like that one. This boosts my lurked minions, which are going to be lurked for the final boss, spoiler. And here, Velki by artifact. Yeah, I think I can go for Velki. So I need to bring back my good build. Yeah, I want this one. Maybe I can go that way. No, I want... Okay. Yes, I can do this and this. Yeah, I think it's good. Okay. Let's go. Let's break Velki into 2. Just a million HP. Easy.
That's quite explosive. All right. New life crystal. Cool. I didn't have any more. Ooh, arbiter. Ooh, I like this one. I have no more room. I'll sell some stuff. I like the arbiter. Where do I place it? I think I'm placing it here. And yeah, maybe placing that one here. That one here. I think that's okay. So Nox. Nox is the final boss for the early build. 200% vulnerability to enemies, all enemies with shield. So the two ones I want to protect, this is a catastrophe. All enemies lurk for 8 seconds, which are going to be boosted. They'll have reduced cooldown thanks to the Cloak of Haste. So that's exactly, well, that's cool. Your fears consume you, turn enemies' vulnerability into poison, which is going to poison my boss minions I wanted to protect. So I'm very sad. When its HP falls below 50%, gain 10 shield. Okay, so it will bring back some shields, but that's okay. 50 damage to a random enemy 5 times. If they hit enemy twice, increases damage by 50. Okay, so I need minions, that's already the case. And vulnerability to all unprotected enemies. I think I can keep the same build and it's going to be okay. Let's go. So here they are lurked, and now it's damage party. Alright, so I crushed the first phase, and now the second phase activates the exhaustion mechanic from the start of the combat. So everyone is going to take quite a ton of damage each second. I need to finish fast. I think this is actually more powerful to deal damage. And I solved those two. I need them next to Skyrunner. Alright, and I crushed Nox. Here you have it, a full run of the early prototype with tons of grid featured and a nice resurrection build. There are many ways to have some crazy stats in the game. I didn't manage to have it here, but I've already managed to have some millions of HPs of damage and deal crazy stats. So enjoy and post your best scores on our Discord. Have a nice day and thank you all.